All right, good. Um, yeah, this should be fun though. High-tech
Uh,
campaign on ME,
yeah,
two continents,
I can't
and
even.
two races that fucking hate each other. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, now it's just deciding which fat guy to be.
Well, I shall be Naggaroth, and every time you, okay, this is actually annoying. Um, okay, click the drop down menu for a faction, but don't pick anyone. Okay,
Yeah.
let me know if yours goes away.
Oh yeah, it
Did it go
does.
away?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
you fucking did that to me 4 times when I was trying to pick Naggaroth.
Classic.
Oh, god damn it.
Um, Honestly, don't know which dwarven faction to be because
Um,
Clan Angrund is solid to begin with, but it is a good challenge, so I might have a go at that.
yeah, you know what, man, listen to your heart, buddy.
Yeah, I like Belegar.
Like, I've only ever played the dwarfs once, and they were these guys here. Thorgrim, Grudge
Yeah,
Bear.
the High King of the Dwarfs.
Yeah, is he like the true leader, like the actual king,
Yeah,
to unite the clans?
he's like so every single like settlement has a king, but all the
Yeah.
kings answer to the High King.
Oh, okay, okay. So, like, if you're playing Thorgrim, then you probably don't want to attack your fellow dwarves. You kind of want to integrate them in via confederation, then.
Yeah, well that's the same with any dwarfs because like if you're going like proper like lore wise, that
Yeah,
like dwarf on dwarf combat is like a no no.
yeah, it's like not the way to go.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So if you're being Clan Angren, then you probably have a couple of orcs to deal with down here. You definitely have the vampires. I feel like they're close by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad. What's I think it's the Bad Moon, like Goblin clan that's around by me.
Right,
If
right.
I'm remembering, I can't remember the name of the character now.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, Default battle resolution. I have that on auto resolve at the moment, but I think that should give you the option to pick whether or not you want to fight it.
okay.
Battle resolution, yeah, because obviously we don't want to auto resolve everything. Like that would be boring after a while.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you're solid with who you're picking, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we have the unit size on Ultra, we have turn time unlimited. Do you want the battle time to have a timer or not?
Um, I'm
Like a
not
lot of
bothered.
cheese can, like a lot of cheese can occur if you have the battle time on,
Yeah,
especially if you're defending. We'll have it on. It'll definitely make things a bit more interesting, but I'll have it on for the hour.
yeah.
Um,
60 minutes will make it.
it's long
Yeah,
enough, I feel.
yeah.
Definitely, without a doubt. Okay, so we have that on auto resolve. I kind of feel like I should have googled that beforehand, but I've already hit the buttons, so that'll just be grossly unprofessional of me if I were to do that. Which is why I'm going onto my phone right now to do it anyway. But no, I'll hit start campaign though.
Righto. So yeah, dwarves versus elves.
I feel like if we like fight each other in battles, like if I'm fighting the Skaven and you decide to play as Skaven to fight me, I feel like you're gonna fuck my shit.
Nah, if this was a tabletop, yes. The fact that it's now a game and it's not how the tabletop plays. No.
Yeah. Because like you were telling me, I remember you telling me last night, like your fucking knowledge of like the lore and like how the dwarves play in tabletop.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have a chance. Like I'd be walking in there as a novice. I'd be like, oh, can I move my guy from like here to there? And it's like, Jack, what are you doing? You just moved him all the way across the map. Like you can't do that.
Like
Like we can't fucking teleport.
yeah. I knew I basically because I played tournaments for like so long with my mate. I
All
knew
right.
I knew a lot of like the meta armies, and I knew how to if I wanted to. I knew like how to do cheesy stuff like with the rules.
Yes, yes.
But it like so for instance one battle basically you can reform your unit sizes, like how you can have like a small block like in game and then you can like drag out the line so they're like a really thin long unit.
Yeah.
Basic you could do that on the tabletop and it was called reforming. And in
Right.
one battle I had one of my units of dwarfs that were unbreakable in like a small block, and this guy tried to make his cavalry come around the outside, so he
Mm-hmm.
spent his turn, got to my flank, come to my turn, and he thought I was just going to turn and face, but I reformed and formed a line so he couldn't even get behind to my artillery, because that's what
And
he was
he
trying. Yeah.
and yeah, he didn't see that coming at all.
No,
Huh?
because it didn't click in his head that you could do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
So
like, you must have blown him out of the water at that
yeah,
point.
like
Like, there was probably no way you could lose.
yeah, that was on turn 3, and he giggled and he said, "Well, I've lost." Like he knew he lost from that point. So
Ah, man, that's actually fantastic.
yeah,
And like for you as well, like you seem to really enjoy playing the dwarves. So like I can definitely feel you're going to make them spiral out of control in terms of growth in this campaign coming up.
I really like infantry based armies.
Yeah,
So it's like when I play, like say Rome 2,
yeah,
I'll pick like I like playing the Romans because they're so based on heavy infantry. And
yes,
it's
yes,
the same as like Spartans, the Seleucid Empire to a degree, and like the Egyptians, even though they got like chariots and stuff. But like I'll usually take like the massive blocks of infantry rather than shitloads of cav.
yeah. Speaking of the Seleucids, though, did you ever play as them in Rome One? Because like for the most part, they kind of had like the best of everything. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, they did.
they were Hellenic, but they could also utilize the maniple system from Rome. Like they had those legionnaires as well. Like that was completely ahistorical. I feel,
Yeah,
but it was like, nah, fuck it, give them Roman legionaries. Let's see what happens.
yeah, I did on the first one. It's a bit stupid,
I
but
never actually played as them
they're
at
a
all
lot.
ever in any game.
They're fun.
Mm,
It's a bit daunting, to be fair. Like on the second one, because like I've played them a couple of times, and one time I've had like all like the vassalized states. They all stayed allies, and then the other
yes.
one by turn like 6, like 9 out of 10 of my like vassal nations were like, nah, fam, I'm not part of your nation no more. At which point it like decimated my economy.
Yes.
So it's all depending on how like the game wants to crunch like the zeros and ones, I suppose. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, just going to apologize really quickly for those staring at the loading screen right now. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about this. I put the game on my regular hard drive. Very short-sighted of me, I know, but I'm going to. The second we're done here, I'm uninstalling this game and I'm putting it back on my solid state. And when we have to load into this again, I swear to Christ, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I mean, I could edit this out, but I would have to edit out a funny tabletop story, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, I could say because I did mention. Well, you did mention the hatred between the elves and the dwarves, and I said, "Do you want me
Yes,
to talk about that?"
yes,
So I could if you
yes.
wanted.
Please talk about that. Yes.
So basically, like originally, the elves and the dwarves actually got along, and they actually fought against chaos, and it's like the biggest misunderstanding ever. Plus, like going on the tropes of each of the factions, because
Yes.
when it was just the high elves to begin with, not the dark elves, and basically they had a civil war. Like
Hmm.
this is breaking it down really basic. They had a civil war and like separated, and the dark elves used a tactic of attacking dwarven caravans, like trade caravans to the elves, and
Hmm.
blaming it on the high elves because the dwarves didn't understand the like I said before, civil war. They didn't have a word for it,
Yeah. Like
right?
it never happened
Yeah,
for them.
so like
Yeah.
they didn't understand how you could kill your own kin,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so the dark elves used that to their advantage, and they attacked caravans, and then eventually the dwarven king got annoyed with it, sent over some ambassadors to the like the High Phoenix King or whatever you want to call him. I can't remember which one it was now. And long story short, because he was so prideful and he didn't want to admit they were in a civil war, shaved off the beards and the hair of the dwarfs and basically sent them packing back to the dwarven king.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, he
and
shaved the dwarves
yeah, he shaved there.
completely.
Yeah, yeah. So
Why?
it it's this is like the basic of basics,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
ton more to this.
So like he sent them back, and then basically
Oh man.
the high king of the dwarfs was like, "Nah, I've got you, fam," and just immediately, like without even saying a word, just mustered the armies of like the dwarfs out,
Yes.
and it's called the War of Vengeance for the dwarfs, but the elves and other races call it the War of the Beard.
The War of the Beard.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah. Or the War of Vengeance if you're like Dawi, like me. So
Yeah.
massive grudge. And because like the elves had like shitloads of dragons and everything, and they had like loads of colonies over on like the old world.
Yes.
And the dwarven armies at that point weren't like, weren't. I was going to say basic, but dwarf armies aren't that basic. Basically, every single soldier had a runic weapon or runic armor.
Yes.
Like their whole armies were made of runic equipment, so it's basically like post-apocalyptic, kind of like devastating armies versus each other, and that's why the elves are retreated back over the ocean, and that's why the dwarfs are like a shattered race, because the war was so like cataclysmic for both of them because they were so powerful. It's kind of fucked them over. But there was other things going on as well, because like I'm pretty sure it might have been just after the war. I think it was just after the war, but yeah, basically the dwarfs won the war. The High King brained the Phoenix King and took his crown, and the dwarfs still have the High King's crown in the capital.
Do they?
Yeah.
Like, as of this day?
Yeah, as of this day.
Wow.
So like we'll never give it back. It's it's a sign of like the betrayal basically from the elves.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure just after that is when like the Skaven and like there was basically a bunch of like earthquakes and stuff, and it like created like voids and that inside the mine systems for the dwarfs. And that's when the Skaven and goblins and stuff were starting to affect them more, because up until that point, dwarven fortifications were like impervious.
Yeah.
Until like the cataclysm happened and like massive vents were open inside like the forts and stuff, and that's when Skaven started fucking shit up basically. But that's really basic, because it doesn't happen that quick, and I'm missing out a bunch of stuff. But that's basically like the downfall of the dwarfs being like from a superpower to a shattered race.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I'm sure if anyone does decide to comment, they will more than happily fill in the gaps that you may have left.
Yeah, there's loads of gaps.
Yes.
Cause, like, just trying to remember, because it's been a while now. Like, I can't quite remember the name of the Phoenix King or the High King that fought in that war.
Well, I only know one Phoenix King, and that's the big man himself, Anarion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that probably happened well after him.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things, because like it's to play on the tropes of like the elves and the dwarfs, because the elves being prideful, they didn't want to admit they were they were partly responsible because of the civil war, and then the dwarfs like being grudgeful didn't want to like just like see through like the fog of war essentially and be like, no, there's something else going on here.
Yes.
So yeah.
What's your start looking at the moment? I got my guy, but I do start off at war with Hag Grief.
I don't actually. Let's have a. I got
have a gander there.
I got some beasts. No, not beastmen. Orcs. Is it orcs? Yeah, orcs just down below me and goblins above me. Black venom.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's goblins. So I'm basically surrounded by greenskins, but I'll sort that out in a minute.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. And we are playing with Grimhammer 2 at the moment, so that's why my Blackguard of Naggaroth has been cut by 40 men. But they've been boosted a fair amount because they are essentially in this mod kind of like a special forces unit. So I was planning on kind of setting up a bit of a doom stack a little later down the line that I will keep to myself. But if you know what it is, then you know what it is. But with Grimhammer now, it kind of well, let's just say my armies won't have a lot of people in it.
All right.
Yeah, like numbers wise, it will not be that large. But if I can maneuver correctly, then I can do a fair amount of damage.
Yeah, I just have to take a quick look, looking through stuff, because it's been so long since I've played this mod.
Absolutely. Like
all the buildings and stuff. Need to remember what they do.
Now, we should be uploading each other's perspectives as well, so of course I will have the channel of my, enemy, in this case, Mr. Tjdwarf, in the description below.
Hopefully. if all the recording goes well.
Yes, if there is no link, then it has not gone well. I will want to record these in about 20-minute bursts, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I
So,
think we're
like,
coming close to 20 minutes now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we can blame that on my loading time. But for now, part one is always kind of the setup to what will be coming
Yeah.
later on down the line.
Yeah, the only pain in the ass for starting off as these guys is the fact that you've got so many like characters and they all need to be leveled up.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like the opposite. I only have Malekith as the main hero.
Yeah.
But I do actually start off with a Sorceress of Fire. And she can get a really good spell a bit later on if I level her up quickly enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, if we do decide to play against each other in our skirmishes in our respective lands, then yeah, I could definitely see that having a lot of unforeseen consequences when it comes to our growth. Because like a battle that I should win, like let's say, a minor rebellion in Naggaroth, you could fucking outmaneuver me, and just like that, I'm out the campaign.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. It's a very dangerous proposition.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be like I always find the start hard with these guys, so this is really interesting.
Yeah, same with Naggaroth. I mean, it's really like the majority of the factions in this game have pretty awkward starts, with exception to maybe Tyrion. Because I feel like if he can confederate with Alariel and the Elven factions to the west of him, then and take out the Dark Elves that spawn just north of him, then you can have a pretty easy campaign at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost done here, pretty much.
One thing I kind of wish, though, that they did not take away in the Mortal Empires map was the southern wastelands. That's in the Vortex campaign.
Oh yeah, I know the one you. I know the one you're talking of.
Because the Khemri, like they are in this. I believe they are in Mortal Empires, but I have no idea where they actually start the campaign. I have to assume it's kind of like in the area by the Bay of Corsairs, but again, I could be very wrong about that. Just south of Old World.
Yeah. Well, that's all I can do for this turn. Oh,
Lovely.
Research. That's important. Right. There's so much.
Indeed, it is.
Public order. Okay, I'll go with that because I need it. Right, I'm done.
All right.
It was just the characters that took up most of the time there. Like having 5 characters to begin with is a bit overkill.
Oh, actually, a major difference in Naggaroth between Grimhammer and Vanilla is I start off with a level 2 settlement as opposed to a level 1 settlement in Vanilla. That's not bad. I'll definitely take that. Income is definitely lower than it is in Vanilla. Dread Spears with a fairly decent amount of armor. Not too shabby, actually. I will take 3 of them. But we do need to get economic buildings going at the moment. Now, in Warhammer 2 as well, like each faction kind of has their own gimmick to it, and all the dwarves, they all have grudges, yeah? They all have their grudge book? Or am I wrong in that?
Oh, I had accidentally pressed the mute. No, it's here. It's definitely here. I'm looking at it now because they've added 3 straight away.
So you have to go sort those out.
Yeah, and one of them's going to be solid because it's win 10 battles against the High Elves.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wait, the High Elves?
Yeah.
It's going to take you a while to get that going, I think.
Yeah.
Church posts. I mean, if we take a look at the public order, the public order in Naggaroth is fairly bad right now, so we are going to want to up that as soon as possible. It will also provide a garrison, so we will take that, and I will take a look at my garrison as well. See, the great thing about Grimhammer is the garrisons in the mod, like, they are so souped up. But yeah, shall we call it here as part 1?
Yeah, because it's just come up to it now.
Yeah, let's call it here as part 1. Fantastic.
Aye.
All right.